said cool. And for my assignment reflection on what I've taken away from during my internship at Levine Elementary School, I chose to do a video response. And just for context, my mentor was Miss Jessica Lozano. She taught sixth grade ELA, and I was placed at Levine Elementary School um, in the Levine district. So for the first question, it asks, do you agree with your mentor's assessment of your progress toward the indicators in domain 4? Explain why or why not. I would say I do agree with her markings for me. Um, well, for domain 4, it's not applicable to me considering I only observed and I did not give instruction. However, she said I met all the requirements for the questions um, that did apply to me. So she said that I met the needs for demonstrating initiative and self-reliance. Um, she said I met that, and she said I met the demonstration for enthusiasm in teaching, and I agree with that because I asked her a lot of questions about teaching, and I had a lot of hard questions to ask her, like how exactly do you build a professional relationship with your student while still caring for them, but also still pushing them to be successful. So that was like a hard question that I had, and um, my mentor saw that I was enthusiastic about having that question answered, and that was my main concern going into this profession. Like, how exactly would you go about that in a practical way? And I think she did a good job of answering by saying that she built relationships through expectations. And I was very passionate about that, about being there for someone so young and being a role model and propelling them into success. And for the question that stated if I demonstrated responsiveness to supervision or the ability to accept constructive criticism and incorporate suggestions into teaching performance. Um, Again, I didn't teach, but I'm going to assume it was for the my attendance during the observation. And she didn't necessarily give me criticism for the way I would instruct, but she did give me some pointers on what I ought to do coming into the field as a new educator. She said that the main issue she sees among young teachers is that they try to be a student's friend rather than um, their mentor, and that really messes with the leadership dynamic that leads students to believe that you don't have an expectation to reach, therefore you don't have to try as hard, which is very could be very harmful for a student's education. So I think that general criticism of new teachers could apply to me, and I did agree with her. And for that question that was asked for her, she said I met that ability to accept constructive criticism. So it's something I'm definitely going to keep in mind moving forward. And for the last section of it, it says that I would adhere to expectations of the profession, attendance, punctuality, dress, attitude, and effective communication, including codes of ethics and relevant law and policy. So there was a guideline I had to follow coming into classroom that I had to dress professionally, and I had to be punctual, and me and her had to communicate when days I would come in and whether or not I would actually be there. So she said that I met that, which I think was a generous response because I was a little late to some of my call times, and um I just think it was punctuality that I would probably just disagree with a little bit because I was late a lot of times. But I did try my best to communicate to her why I would be late, considering the drive was also like 30 minutes from where I live, so traffic became an issue. But I would try my best to communicate that to her, and she seemed to be very understanding of that, so I appreciate that. And that's what she evaluated me on. And for the next portion of it, it says the question is, or the prompt is, from your perspective, what were your personal strengths, things you believe you did well as an intern? Um, I think something I did well was listen to what my mentors had to say, and not only listen, but to ask questions and to be very investigative of the field and to just get as much information as I can when selecting this career choice. Um, I think that's a strength I did. I my philosophy is you should go into everything a little skeptical to make sure you're not being like misguided. So I think I did a good job on that. Um, and through my skepticism, I found like a lot more things I had to consider while going into this field, which I will get to later. And if the next prompt is, from your perspective, what were your personal areas of improvement or areas that you personally feel you need to work on? I think I could have worked better on communication. Um, like I would say I would be there at my call time, but I was like late, and um, when I told my mentor I would be there, in some instances I would tell her like the very last minute, and I think I could have done better letting her know in advance, but it wound up working for both of us in the long run. And for the last question, it asks, what are you excited about as a future educator? So I decided through my internship and through a lot of other factors that I don't want to continue studying secondary education. Um, but I know I will still have a leadership positions that the Teachers College has provided strategies to do, and I will carry those strategies with me still, um, going into whatever career that I choose to go into. But overall, I still have like really big respect for teachers, and um, through some of my peers, I have faith in some of them that they will be good teachers that will have the benefit of the students in mind and to their education. So I have hope in future educators. However, I just don't think it's the right career choice for me personally. Through this internship, not that my internship was great, but I think actually having a real life feel for it, I don't think I can do it for the rest of my life. But